this is Hunter Payne with Fox 5 News reporting here from our studio right here in Atlanta. Today, the topic of our broadcast is going to be the new disease developing right here in North Georgia. The disease, zombesquirrel necrolysis, the name itself comes from the several Latin prefixes and suffixes. Zo means human, vescer means an organ or specifically the brain, necro means dead, and finally, lysis means dissolving. When you put it together, it means a human's brain dead and dissolving. The virus has been dormant for thousands of years, living as a lysogenic virus. It is carried by all humans on Earth and follows the lysogenic cycle. First, the virus invades the cell. Then it takes over the cell and sort of becomes part of the cell. The virus was triggered recently when some old cookie dough was served in a Banks County High School cafeteria and was eaten by many students. It allows certain toxins to invade the cell so that the cell dissolves slowly. It only targets brain cells, so the rest of the body is completely intact. There's one eyewitness we've caught up with who is willing to share his story with us. Early one morning in Banks County, Georgia, a young father, names were not released to the general public, woke up to find something was wrong in his house. His son had apparently eaten the frozen cookie dough at school the previous morning. The lysogenic virus triggered that night, and sadly, the young child died. Stetson has conducted an interview with the man, and this is his story.
Hello, Mr. Valley. Tell us your story.
I'd put him in bed that night, and everything seemed as if it was normal, except he complained about a bad headache, and he had a bad nosebleed. Nevertheless, I locked my door and went to bed. I woke up that morning to banging on my door and a loud moaning noise. I never opened the door. Instead, I climbed out the window and called the police. All I was told is that they found my son, and when he relentlessly continued to attack, they shot him. I felt terrible because my son had died, and he had caused multiple flesh wounds to the officers.
Later learned that those officers died and zombified. Officials from the CDC have informed us that a cure for the virus is nearly impossible. The virus apparently has a gene sequence too complicated to decipher. The virus adapts and evolves rapidly, making it hard to follow and find a cure. Overall, a possible cure could take as long as 20 years and will cost the government billions. The only techniques that are possible to use in this situation are sanitation and isolation, meaning, as a world, we should all stay as sanitary as possible and should isolate ourselves from those infected. The strategy the United States government is trying to conduct is one that is a hit or a miss. We're trying to kill all the infecteds and zombies before they can infect more citizens. Go to our friends at the CDC so they can further explain some equations in clear detail for us.
Thank you, Hunter. Thomas Intrican from the CDC. With me now, I have some calculations that will give us a better idea of what we will be dealing with in this situation for the next couple years. Now, after the first year, the amount of susceptibles, which is the amount of humans unaffected, will be at 8 per 1,000 population. The amount of zombies that we will have on Earth per 1,000 population will be 742 based on our calculations. The amount of undead, which are the people who are infected but have not yet turned into full zombies, will be 0 because the humans turn into zombies at a very alarming rate. The dead will be 744 because we figure that about 75% of zombies can be killed within a 1-year time period, meaning that this will be what we'll be left with.
Even though it is early in the development of the disease, scientists can tell that this disease will indefinitely have a huge impact on the population and the world society. Chaos, destruction, and primitive living will have to be put into play as the disease may take out all electricity, phone lines, and the internet. As more people die, the government will inevitably lose control of all the necessities we have become dependent on over the past century. The world will be in flames. Rubble from the remnants of the old cities will serve as a reminder of the golden age of society, and an eerie mass grave will have been dug to hold the thousands of those dead. People have been completely surprised by the virus and are finding out that it isn't something to play around with. Many people are resorting to killing others and hiding away to avoid the possibility of catching the disease. People are conserving food and using their homes as homemade bunkers. However, these aren't recommended survival techniques, but are instead myths about how to survive in an apocalyptic situation. Some good advice for survival in this situation of utter chaos and crisis include making safe supply runs, grouping together with those not infected, trying to locate the state bunkers located in the capital of each state. People have also been allowed by a congressional act to fire upon any infected person if they feel threatened, but are not recommended to go hunting for the infected, as it can be very dangerous.
Hope you enjoyed the video.
Bloopers.
I didn't get us. The video's facing the other way.
Move. Dadgummit, we tackled you in the wrong spot.
We tackled you over here. We need to tackle.
So, Mr. Man, don't wait.
It's Mr. The virus has been dormant for thousands of years, living as a lysogenic virus. It is. What? I pulled it up.
And here we have some information that tells us. Never mind.
Sadly, we later learned that those officers later died and zombified.
No, that doesn't
That
make
does
sense.
not sound
That doesn't make sense at all.
Do it again.
No.
I'm gonna need to take out. Okay, we later learned that those officers died and zombified.
Yeah, we later learned that
Hey,
later
go
those
backspace.
officers later died. And
Go
later
5
zombified.
backspaces. 5, 6. Good job, Skip.
Okay.